welcome to this UP42 tutorial. My name is Elizabeth, and today I'll be going over the account settings and the catalog search with commercial data from our user interface. Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'll be giving you a short tutorial on the steps to take to change details of your account to access commercial blocks and how to find and purchase commercial data in two different ways from the UI. Today, I'll use an example of change detection with high-resolution Pleiades data. Let's get started. On the main console, I've already created a project and started a workflow for us. Opening the project takes us to the main dashboard, but on the top, you can see two navigation bars. The dark blue is the main navigation and the gray is for your project. I'll go ahead and click the project settings to showcase all the capabilities you have to adjust your projects. If I scroll down to the threshold limits, you might notice the threshold settings are locked. Let's change that. Either navigate to account settings or even easier, just click where it says Add Credit Card. I've added some credit card information, and now if you're wondering where you can actually go to make a purchase, go to Credit Management. Notice you already have 10,000 sign-up credits in your account. That is, if you haven't run any live jobs yet. Note that these credits are limited to being used only on the free or sign-up blocks for testing, at least until you've added credit card information. To purchase additional credits that can be used on any block, including the commercial ones, you can easily add more credits here when you're ready. On Credit Management, you can access all your transaction history as well as the invoices from purchasing credits. Here's what an invoice might look like once you've made some purchase with your credit card. Another option that some customers prefer is monthly VAT billing, which can be easily arranged with our sales team. I'll include their contact info for you below. Back in the main console, open a project. From here, you can adjust your project settings. The default restrictions are 100 square kilometers for your AOI, one job at a time, meaning no concurrent jobs, and a max of 10 images per job run. I'll adjust these now for our project so you can see how these settings translate to running a job. Back to our workflow. Starting from the workflow editor, the first thing you'll need to ask yourself is, what is the right data for my objectives? Some of the key factors here are spatial resolution, spectral resolution, and coverage. This type of information is available on the respective block card of each dataset. As a rule of thumb, satellite data will have global coverage, whereas aerial data, drone, and vector data types won't. So if you're using these datasets, be sure to check if they cover your area of interest. You might also need to consider if you need streaming data or download data. Where the former is used for quick analysis and can't be downloaded, the latter is necessary when you want to download and use the data over and over. Think of the difference between streaming a movie online and purchasing a movie to watch whenever. I've chosen Pleiades streaming data, which has 50 centimeter spatial resolution and returns 3 bands, the RGB. With our data block selected, we can add some analytics on top. First, I'll search for raster tiling, a processing algorithm useful for all types of machine learning and a necessary step before adding our change detection analytics. Next, I'll add the change detection algorithm by Airbus. On the block card, notice there are some specifications detailed in the description about how this algorithm should be used. First, we'll need to have these tile definitions, and second, we'll need to make these adjustments to the parameters listed here. So we'll keep those things in mind when we're ready to configure the job, but for now, we can just save the workflow. Now that I know the data type that I want to use, I need to figure out which dates are available for my area and that hopefully don't have significant cloud cover. Navigate to the catalog search and search for your area of interest. For this tutorial, I'm searching for an oil storage facility in eastern Saudi Arabia. So I'm searching for the dates where I know an oil leak occurred at this facility, sometime in August of 2018. I'll now adjust the cloud cover to less than 10%. You can adjust this to whatever level is acceptable for your study, but it's fair to say that Saudi Arabia is a pretty dry area, so I can confidently restrict the cloud cover and know that I'll have plenty of dates to choose from. Draw your area of interest or AOI now, if you'd like, or you can do that later from the job configuration page. For this tutorial, I'll show you how to draw it now from the catalog search. You may notice on the left, there are some images denoted with a gray storage box icon. This means that this is cold archive data, which just means that the data can take up to 24 hours to go to storage. Otherwise, the data is always immediately accessible. On the left-hand side, there's a list of all the available data that meets my criteria for the specified filters. You'll notice there's two components here, data purchasing and data for analytics. Today, we'll just be working with the data for analytics. If the data can be used for both, meaning you can both download the data for continued use and you can stream the data to run analytics on top, then you'll see both components highlighted. With the left panel, I can select this data and view more information, including the estimated credits needed to purchase, along with even some of the metadata information like the image ID. With just the click of a button, you can easily directly purchase this data, which would be useful if you don't want further analytics. There's a couple things to note though. First, that this direct data checkout is only applicable to Spot and Pleiades data for the time being. And second, because this is a commercial data set, you'll need to add a credit card before any credits, including the credits given to you when you signed up, can be consumed to access this data. Using the left panel, select some processing data that you'd like to analyze. For the change detection algorithm that we want to use, we need to select a post-event image and at least one pre-event image, depending on the change detection algorithm you use. This dataset looks good as a post-event, and I can already see a bit of the leak from the image preview. If I zoom out, I should be able to see the swath or the total extent that this scene covers. Now that I have my AOI drawn and images selected, I'm ready to copy over the image information. Here's where I can view and manually copy over the parameters into our workflow once I'm ready to configure the job. Here you can also select whether you want the AOI or the ID parameters or both. But there's an easier way. Back to the image selection window, I can simply click Configure and choose which project and workflow I'd like to process these images with. With a simple click, my Pleiades data IDs and the AOI I selected from before in the catalog search are automatically passed through to the job configuration page. As you can see on the right, the same AOI is highlighted on the map as we delineated in the catalog search from before. There are still some parameters that need adjustment with the algorithms we're using. For example, I need to specify the right tile height and width, as well as match the extents or set this to true. At the bottom right of the configuration page, you can see an estimated square area of our AOI. And on the bottom left, there's the estimated processing time and credit usage. Today, I won't run this job because I've already shown how to download and visualize the results in previous tutorials. But if I did want to get results, I'd make sure to switch this to a live job and then click here where it says Run Job. As I mentioned last time, in some cases you may want to run a test query first if you weren't sure about the images or just to make sure if the job works as intended. You can always feel free to contact our lovely sales team too with any questions. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial. Was this video helpful for you? If so, share this video and shoot us a message with questions or ideas for our next video and how we can improve these screencasts. Feel free to email me directly or contact our support team. For more ideas on how to upgrade your workflows, come visit us at UP42.com.